Hello, and welcome.
Hello.
It's Atomic Radio Hour. I'm your host, Vince.
And I am your hypothetical host, Olive.
It sounds like you've already heard this intro, it's because we're doing what we like to call a burner. And that's an episode that we record in the future for a later date. The holidays are coming up, and it's going to be rather hectic for my plans and Olive's plans, so we decided, and I'll be completely honest with you, I'm absolutely ripping this idea off from a podcast that I love called How Neil Feel with Neil Brennan and Bianca, and I don't know Bianca's last name.
I've been catching up because I really like that podcast.
Isn't it
now.
great?
It's just great to listen to when you're cooking.
Yeah, and Neil Brennan is the guy who is the co-creator of The Chappelle Show, and he co-wrote Half-Baked. He wrote for All That on Nickelodeon back in the day. Very smart guy, very funny dude. But they did this one thing on there, and I'm just going to do the intro quick. So this is going to be on, there's probably going to be 3 parts of this. You'll probably hear this intro 3 different times. So if you want to fast forward, go right ahead. They did a thing on the New York Times. There is an article called 36 Questions That Lead to Love. Now, Neil and Bianca on the show are not dating, they're not together, they're not whatsoever involved.
They're just friends.
They're friends, they're pals, they're buddies, they're homies. Like Olive and myself. So I thought, since what a better way to make some content than to copy somebody else's idea. I am totally biting. I'll be the first person to say it, but also this isn't a regularly scheduled program. This is what we like to call a burner.
This is where we just kind of do some fun side projects.
Just so we make sure something comes out.
We go a little bit off the beaten path for your viewing entertainment.
Yes. But that being said, I think since people are going to be hearing this multiple times, that's enough that we've said. Let's get right on into the episode. All right, you want to get right into this?
Yeah, so are we just going to do set 1?
Yeah, we'll just do set 1. We'll do this in 3 parts.
Yeah, so this one has 12 questions. How do you want to do this?
What did you say?
Do you want to do like
how
even
many?
the odds? Do you want to just do it together?
I was just gonna. I just thought it'd be interesting if like I'll read the odd ones, you read the even ones, but we're both gonna answer the question. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if I ask number 1, you answer, and then I answer, and then you read the next. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So the question.
Let's do that.
The first question is: given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest?
Whom would I want as a dinner guest? See, I've got this question before, and I always struggle to answer it because I really don't have any role models.
Yeah, but it does not even necessarily a role model, just somebody you find interesting.
Somebody that I find interesting. I would say, as of right now, just because of, I assume we can do Alive or Dead.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just because I've been rewatching Ruby and kind of binging it for the new season, I would say Monty Oum, the original creator who unfortunately passed away.
Why's that?
Because he had some of the best fight choreography in terms of like directing out of basically anyone I've ever seen. He did most of the fight choreography for Red vs. Blue. He basically made an entire show out of fight choreography for Ruby. And apparently he was just a really, really nice guy. And I think that it would be a lovely conversation about talking about a creative world and just taking your idea and making it into a reality. And I think that it would be a really fulfilling and nice conversation.
Good shit.
What about yourself?
See, when I even read the question, and I've heard most of these questions already, but when I first heard the question, again, my first thing that was put in my head was everybody has a plan until you get punched in the mouth, which is a Mike Tyson quote. And
yeah.
I fucking love that quote of, like, it's so true. And, like, recently...
at any point, you can get punched in the mouth.
You could have a plan to kick somebody's ass. As soon as you get punched in the mouth, you forget what that plan
over.
is. Yeah. So every question is like a punch in the mouth of, like, who do I want to meet? Like, who's somebody that inspires me, alive or dead? And part of me thinks, like, I would want to have dinner with Samuel L. Jackson. Just so he could call me a motherfucker and just listen to
Dinner,
stories.
motherfucker, do you eat it?
Like, yeah. And then, like, at the same time, I've been, since the Tyson fight was a few weeks ago, as of the recording of this, like, I would love to sit down and have dinner with someone like Mike Tyson. And I'm not a sports guy, but he's a dude who literally came from, like, nothing. And, like, I know they're like, oh, Bezos came from nothing, but his parents bailed him out for almost $1 million. You know what I mean? So, like, he's a dude who came from, like, a rough neighborhood in Brooklyn, was a bad kid, he was a bad dude, and because of fighting, like, he turned his life around, it got him in more trouble. Like, I would love to sit down and talk to Donald Glover and just talk about the creation of the album Because of the Internet.
That would be a really good conversation.
I would love to sit down and talk to Madlib, but from everything I've ever seen about Madlib, he doesn't talk. He's just like, yeah.
He just sits there silently and listens.
He just gives one-word answers. Like, there's a, whoa. So I don't want to cop out and be like, well, I don't have an answer, but, like, I'm trying to think of just someone who would have such a massive cultural impact that I would want to speak to.
Would you want to speak to, like, a president or, like, a ruler? No?
No.
What about someone evil? Would you use your dinner on someone evil? Because, like, evil can be subjective unless
Karl Marx.
Karl Marx?
I'm not saying evil. I'm not saying Karl Marx is evil. I'm just saying to have a conversation with someone like him would be really fascinating, because especially when...
Like a philosopher?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the time that he was alive and what he was writing about and what he was talking about can be applied to different times, yes, but also the book that he wrote that he's most known for was written in, like, 1860-something. And I would like to...
It's a different time. You've never seen an iPhone before?
Yeah. Like, there's because I wouldn't want to talk to Winston Churchill, because I feel like just something about Winston Churchill, I feel like he'd be so far up his own ass.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure he was a bad person.
Yeah, I think so.
Ooh, another good option if I'm allowed to have, like, a runner.
Sure.
Fuck. What was I need to look up what the fuck this.
As soon as we're done recording this, I'm going to think of somebody.
Yeah. Alan Turing would be awesome.
Why do I know that name?
Because Alan Turing is the father of modern computer science. Basically was the one to decode the Nazi codex of their encryption on their messages. It was called the Enigma code.
Huh.
And he basically built the first computer to automate decoding their messages. And no one believed, because back then decoders were, and, like, decryptors were people. So no one thought that a machine could do the work that people could do, and no one wanted to really give him a chance.
Yeah.
But then he did it, and it was awesome. But he was also gay, so they chemically castrated him, which led to his death.
I heard of this. Yeah, he was a fucking genius, and he was a great guy, and then
the British government killed him.
Yes, I did hear that. That would be really interesting.
Yeah. Super interesting character. I mean, he was a person. Not
Chris Chan!
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah, Chris Chan.
Yeah.
Chris Chan.
The most interesting and documented person on the planet.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't fucking think of that.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next question.
Holy shit. Yeah, next question. I'll read this one.
Yeah.
Would you like to be famous, and in what way? I know my answer.
I don't know. I don't think so. I see where it would have its perks. Like, if I was, like, someone that's as big as, like, Drake, and I hate Drake, but, like, he's massive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I was something like that, that just seems like a lot. Like, you can't do anything. Mm-hmm. You can't leave the house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Like,
there's perks that'll probably come with it. Like, you probably never have to pay for clothes again.
Yeah.
If you're multi-famous, you probably never have to pay for dinner ever again. But, like, if I'm uber famous, I'm also guessing...
You can meet other famous people.
Yeah, but most famous people are assholes.
Yeah.
That's why, like, the last question, I was kind of like, about it because of the whole, like, don't meet your heroes thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, it's cool, but I don't know. Like, it has its perks, but I think, like, did you ever read the
You
thing
can just say that you wouldn't want to be famous if you want. That's an answer.
I know.
I feel like there is this part of like everyone's ego that wishes that they were a household name.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because like
that's what I would want to be.
a household name.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be a celebrity.
No.
Like I think, but that's very different from being famous.
Yeah.
But no, I would kind of want to just be more of like a household name. Like I would want to invent something or do something to be someone that's in the cultural zeitgeist. I want to end up being on a Cards Against Humanity card.
I want to be a verb.
Like Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Or to Google something. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Be like, oh,
I would like to be
it.
someone that's notable, and that did someone that did something important enough to gather notoriety without being like a Hollywood asshole.
Yeah.
You know?
I also have a theory that if you have enough money and power, you eventually just start
You just start just being famous.
well, no, sexually abusing children.
Oh, that's an interesting
Because, like,
theory for another episode.
no, because just hear me out. I'll explain it quick. Because
All right,
like
fine.
look at all these famous people that have everything thrown at them and they just start having sex with children. Like it has to be like this is the one thing
That's
that
to be some mental just goop.
you're
that
just
went
told
wrong.
no constantly. This is the one thing, like you're told yes to everything, even to shit that like you're supposed to be told no about. This is the one thing that everybody can't do.
Because it's bad.
No, I'm not
you know?
justifying it. I'm just saying, like, yeah, like it's the only dude. Okay, go back to Drake. Drake follows models that are 17 years old, and then as soon as they turn 18, he messages them on Instagram.
You up?
Yeah, yeah. Sorry,
That's
sorry.
weird.
So
That's weird.
yeah, I want to be a verb.
Did you go vincing last night?
Yeah.
Vincing. Yeah, I went vincing.
What do you think? What do you think of vincing would be?
I have no fucking idea.
I know what an olive would be.
What?
Not getting the work done. Haha.
You're just making me feel bad.
Oh, come on. You want to hear the third question?
Yes, I do.
Before making a telephone call, do you ever rehearse what... This is question 3. Do you ever rehearse what you're going to say? And if so, why?
Absolutely. Because I have general anxiety. So, I have a mental bulleted list to go through before I go on to a phone call. Like, if I'm calling my doctor, I need to be like, all right, first the pleasantries, then this is what I need, and I want it now. And then I have the other various questions section, and then I have the farewell pleasantries. I kind of have like a mental, not script, but a guideline for when I make a phone call, because nowadays you don't really make a whole lot of phone calls. Like, especially with your friends, you mostly like text or like video chat, or
Unless you're me.
unless you're you because you're 95.
Yeah.
Someone is weed whacking outside, and that's
I can't
just
hear
great
it.
for recording.
I can't
Oh,
hear
you
it, so
will.
don't worry.
You will.
Tell them to stop. It's fucking wind... No, it's not.
It is winter. It literally snowed yesterday.
Oh, I hear it now.
Yeah. Listen to that lovely weed whacker.
Fuck.
That's great.
Where is it in relation to your house?
I need to peek out the window.
Okay.
It's actually a leaf blower, and it's across the street. Directly across the street. Wow, that's the most obnoxious thing ever.
Is it the house with the dogs and the baby?
No, the one next to it.
With the Tesla?
Yeah, the one with the Tesla.
Alright, go fucking destroy their
Go
tires.
key his Tesla. And then the Tesla will pull a gun on me.
Like Inspector Gadget or the Doom guy's
Yeah.
little fucking thing that jumps off his back, just eat shit.
Yeah. I was thinking, my inspiration for that was, believe it or not, that Rick and Morty episode where, like, Summer's stuck in the car.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
And the prompt was protect summer at all costs.
Yeah.
And it brokers like national peace between the spider people and the government. Holy shit, I guess we just have to wait for this to end.
I do and don't have, like, a rehearsal. I'm just like, all right, call this person and ask this. And I'm just like, hey, it's Vince. You probably don't know me. Sorry. I do this and that. But I need to know, like, can I come by today at 3? Yeah, for my car. This is a barbershop? All right, but, like, I'll go through, like a pseudo checklist of what I need to say, but I'm not, like... At 3 minutes in, make sure you say this. Like,
Right, yeah. I'm not a psycho.
yeah.
But like, even when I call my friends or my parents for like just for leisure, just to catch up, I still like have an idea of what I want to talk about.
See, every time I call you, I just go, fuck, I forgot what I was going to say. And then I call you back 20 minutes later. So...
It's true. It happens basically daily.
Twice a week at least.
The only person I ever called just like without having an idea of what I want to talk about is probably my sister.
Really?
And sometimes my mother. Everyone else I usually have a task to address. Not that that's like a good or bad thing.
Cool.
I just like to have an idea of what I'm talking about because I don't want to sound like an idiot. Do you want me to read the next one?
Please.
This is an interesting one. What would constitute a perfect day to you? Alright, start from the moment you wake up.
All right, I get up at
Kinda
like...
walk me through it.
I get up at like 9 o'clock.
In the AM?
In the
Or
AM.
poom?
I get up, make a nice big breakfast. Nah. I don't make a big breakfast. I make a healthy breakfast. There's a difference. You know what I mean?
There's a difference.
Like-
one is awesome, the other one sucks ass. Continue.
Like, I'll make... I don't mean healthy in the sense of, like, all vegetables. I mean, like, 2 fried eggs, some sausage, some toast, Italian bread. You butter the one side and you put it on the thing and you smush it down real flat. We just always called it the bread growing up. I don't know. Like, we made the bread. Oh, shit, but it's like toast. Some vegetables, of course, some peppers, some onions, some spinach.
Okay, so this is an awesome breakfast, not a suck-ass breakfast.
No, like it's healthy.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, it's healthy. It's healthy.
It's hearty. Like,
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, maybe some potatoes in there. Maybe. Depends on how much time I
A
got.
well-rounded meal.
Yeah. Nice tall glass of water. And then, honestly, I think I would, like, go hang out at a park. It's like sweatshirt weather. It's like kind of sunny. I'm in a shaded spot. Kind of like go hang out. There's a train station that I hang out at. Well, not now because it's too cold, but when it was nicer out, I would just go there and sit there. And like, just kind of people watch.
Just sit there with bread and feed the birds because you're ancient.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't feed birds, but I would just sit there and like watch people and like look at the people that come to this town and be like, oh, you're all dumb. And just kind of like, you know... kind of just sit back and relax, and then maybe take a late lunch at like 2. Maybe get like some soup or a salad, nothing huge. And then I think like kind of just hang out, maybe like play Minecraft. Like I'd play something with a friend.
Yeah.
Or I'd maybe play something with my brother or do something. And then pretty much wait until dinner time and then cook with like a group of family or a group of friends or both. And then my favorite types of dinners are the ones where you finished eating 2 hours ago and you're still just sitting there. And then kind of do that. Hopefully by that time
Kind
it's
of like dinner with my parents.
yeah. Hopefully by that time it's like 9-10 o'clock. Well, I took a shower in the morning because I'm not a monster. I took it after I ate breakfast. But like sit down on my bed and just kind of relax. Maybe play something by myself. Maybe watch a movie. Just kind of sit down, relax. Go to bed around 11. I don't need to like.
That's a nice vision.
I don't need to like get my ass ate. Like I don't need like some crazy shit to happen. Like I just want to hang out. Like and just.
My perfect day is a little bit different.
Okay, let me hear.
So I wake up in a daze from anywhere between noon and 2.
Okay.
Hopefully I was drinking last night and I wake up without a hangover.
All right.
So I wake up. You know how like you just like coma yourself out and wake up and you're like, "Oh, that was a good one."
No.
No, you've never had a restful sleep in your life.
No, I've had a restful sleep, but I don't wake up where I'm like. I don't wake up like a Draugr from Skyrim. Like,
see, I wake up like a Draugr from Skyrim.
I know. I wake up and I just go, it is time to rise.
And I'm just like, hello.
Yeah.
So hopefully it was the best sleep of my goddamn life. From there, I probably go to the restroom and check my phone.
Oh, you're giving me the minutia.
No, not. I'm not gonna really
Okay.
dig too deep, but that's I like to be informed, so I want to know what bad thing is happening today or what good thing is happening today.
Okay.
So I usually like check Twitter. That's something that I usually do in my morning like cycle. Mm-hmm. And then hopefully by this time I already smell the breakfast that someone else made for me.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I like to be taken care of.
Yeah.
So then I would eat as a family with whoever I'm like with, whether it be my partner, my friends, my parents. Mm-hmm. And at this point, we've just finished our brunch, and probably have a drink with brunch just because like I assume this is a day off and it's a perfect day. Later on, in the like afternoon, the late afternoon, I would probably go out with someone, like whether it be like to a store or like just like go on a car ride, but just like enjoy the company of someone, but somewhere else, mm-hmm. not just like in my home. Mm-hmm. And then by the time I get tired, which is around like 6 p.m. because my social battery is very thin, I come home and I snuggle up on the couch and I watch a movie with whoever's home, or like watch TV. Hopefully I get to cuddle with someone because I'm a very affectionate person. And do that for a little bit, but we don't finish the movie because we get distracted and start playing Smash. And then we end up going back to watching something after we're done playing a couple rounds of Smash. And then at that point, the dinner that somebody made for me is already done and it's hot and everyone is just enjoying the fuck out of it, enjoying each other's company. And then have a few drinks and probably watch or game again. I do a lot of really like comforting activities for me is watch and game, mm-hmm. Or game and watch. So they can make something out of that. And
yeah, when they're not DMCAing people for trying to raise money for the mentally unwell.
Oh my god, I know. That's a
different episode.
That's a different video. And then crawl into bed after everyone else is asleep and at the ripe old hour of 3 or 4 in the morning. Because I do need that like 3 hours at the end of the night to kind of decompress and just be with myself. I need to hang out with myself a little bit. Because though I really enjoy the company of people, I do need to hang out with myself. And usually that's like playing a solo game or like watching something and grabbing a little goldfish snack and just like being alone in my perfect little world here.
Cool.
Yeah.
Who's next? Me?
Yeah.
When did you last sing to yourself or to someone else?
Does humming count?
I don't know.
Because I hum and whistle constantly.
Yeah, I was trying to think of this, and, like, I don't even know.
The last time I sung to myself or someone else was, I sing in the car when there's a song on that has lyrics that I know. So the last time that I, like, sung was I was scream singing lyrics from Casey Lee Williams, who does the singing for the Ruby soundtrack, because those songs slap. And I was singing it with my friend Aislinn, that has made a cameo appearance on the show before.
Yeah, and she only listens to anime soundtracks.
No, she also listens to lo-fi and bad music.
You literally didn't have to tell me it was her because you said anime, and I was like, oh, it was Aislinn. Like, I knew it. Like,
yeah. She also listens to lo-fi music, electronic, and bad music.
Yeah.
She literally just has, like, playlists of bad music on her phone that she listens to, and it's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
It's like a cathartic activity to just shit on this bad music together. So yeah, that's when I was last singing to myself. It was probably, I think it was the song Armed and Ready. But the acoustic version.
Oh.
Fuck, that song is so good.
I don't...
what about you?
I don't know. I'm
I
thinking,
personally
like...
love singing.
I'm
very musical.
I, like, beatbox to myself a lot. Like, if I'm just, like, in the shower, I'm like... But, like... I don't know. I don't really sing to other people. If my... I don't know. I don't really have an answer for this one. I guess beatboxing to myself whilst in the shower an hour ago, if that counts.
I kind of like singing while I cook, too.
See, I like listening to podcasts while I cook or YouTube videos.
Yeah, I usually listen to podcasts when I'm cooking or doing dishes, but sometimes I'll just put on a music playlist and just, like, I'll be, like, doing the dishes to the beat, like a psycho, and, it's just really fun to just, like, dance it out while I'm doing something.
The last time that I can remember is when I sold my car. I was standing in my kitchen with my sister playing Gimme the Loot by Biggie with no shirt on, a cigar, not lit, but just there for the effect, a handful of cash, and a hat on. And just, like, yelling the lyrics to the song that, like, I still know all of the words. But, I mean, I don't even know. I feel like when we drove home with you, I sung something pretty fucking loud, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, whenever we're in the car, you'll hear, like, a dope line and be like, hold up.
Like, play that, like, play that 6 more times.
Yeah. Just like, and then you play it, and I'm just like, oh, and you're like, yeah.
You want to read the next one?
Sure. If you were able to live to age 90 and retain your mind or body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life, which would you want?
Body.
So, body.
Why would you want the mind of a 30-year-old? The mind of a 90-year-old.
That's an interesting take.
The mind of a 90-year-old is maybe has, like, dementia developing, but you have literal years of knowledge. You have years of experience and wisdom and knowledge. You've met a bunch of people, you've done a bunch of things, and if I still have the body of a 30-year-old, I can still do shit and not get tired at 5 p.m.
I mean, you already get tired at 5 p.m.
Well, yeah, but that's because I work nights, but fuck you. Like, do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. I actually agree. I would definitely keep the mortal coil, so to speak. Because imagine having the body of a 30-year-old. You could just nurse your health up to, like, perfect by 30. And then just live on your, like, golden years when you have money and just whatever you want.
Yeah.
and just you get 60 years of that. Of, like, being at peak performance.
Yeah, dude, imagine being like...
Because being a 30-year-old is peak performance.
Dude, imagine being a 75-year-old and you're bedding 22-year-olds. Come on! I'd be like Hugh Hefner. Come on!
Just
get the fuck
slinging
outta here.
Schmeat.
Like,
Yeah.
dude, just schmeat all day. No, seriously, like, I'd rather wake up and not go,
I already do that.
Yeah.
I wake up like a Skyrim dronker.
like, I mean, yeah, I'll be 90, so I'll be sitting around waiting for my kids to call all day, but still, like...
But if you had the body of a 30-year-old, you would go out and fucking ham it up. You would live it up.
Because, dude,
you wouldn't be in constant pain.
Dude, think about how tight of, yo, I was at this party last night, yeah? I met this dude who's like 94. Why was he there? Dude, I don't know, but he was ripped. He was so cool.
It's like,
he was butt
have you ever
chugging.
met someone that's like in their 50s or 60s that looks like they're like 30 or 40 and
Yeah.
they're like, they're a cyclist
Yeah.
and they do CrossFit
Yes.
and they only drink kale and
And they
carbonite
do
to keep themselves
fucking
perfect.
Kav McGraw, like, they're just the man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, they're just perfect golden beings.
Yeah, I think of Ned Flanders whenever I think of that, because there's an episode where that you find out that Ned Flanders is like really in his 60s, but he's like ripped. Like, he's just so like healthy and well put together that you wouldn't guess that he was in his 60s.
I had a professor at school that was probably like in his late 50s. Looked like he was like 28 or
Wow.
early 30s. And he was like this crazy cyclist, and I don't know. It's a lifestyle.
Dude,
like,
George
it's a
Clooney.
commitment to
George
that lifestyle
Clooney.
of peak performance. And like, honestly, if everyone did that, we would live on a better planet.
Yeah.
Do you want to shoot us the next one?
Yeah, the next one is the phone. Hold on. Do you have a secret hunch about how you will die?
Oh, this is a sad one. Because I'm relatively likely to get hate crimed, so that's my secret.
I mean,
hunch.
I don't think you are.
You would be surprised at the statistics I've read. They're
Yeah, but statistics
horrible.
are just that. Just because
Yeah.
their statistics don't mean anything. Did you know that 96% of statistics are made up on the spot? Like,
That sounds made up. Yeah.
the statistics that you read don't take into account location. They don't take into account age. They don't take into account what part of a transition they are in. People that are transitioning 2 weeks in don't pass as much as someone who's been transitioning for a year. You know what I mean? So, like, yeah, the people that they put through the questionnaire could have been X amount of people, but they were all from this location. Like, if you survey people, but you only get from Massachusetts, and you then apply that to the rest of the United States, there's 49 other states that don't have any representation there.
I've done pretty extensive research, and it kind of sucks everywhere. Not so much in the north. Like, I'm kind of in the best case scenario of living in New York State.
Yeah.
I've got the most going for me here. So I don't think I will be hate crimed here, especially because I live in a small city and not the big city.
I also think that, like, you won't be, because people don't fucking give a shit about other people, like, genuinely. Like, if you stay
Just
out of
don't
other...
care enough.
No one
don't love or hate enough.
I just had this conversation with my cousin. Like, if I go to the Wawa and some guy's like, fucking asshole, I'm gonna look at him and be like, yeah, I'm a fucking asshole. And then I'm gonna walk away. Like, and if he tries and comes back at me and says something, to be like, you really want to, like, catch a charge or
Yeah.
do something dumb because you called me an asshole and I
Like,
told you I was an asshole.
I'm not putting jail time on the table just to fuck with someone else.
It's
I've
yeah.
got better shit to do.
Dude, it's the most American thing is to tell somebody that you're like a hard ass, like you're a bad dude, and then when push comes to shove, you don't do a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
That's the most American shit.
It's posturing.
Yeah.
How do you think you're gonna die?
Probably a heart attack.
Yeah?
I don't see myself being an old man.
You gotta get those low cholesterol Cheerios.
Yeah, fuck that. I don't see myself being an old man. I never have seen myself as an old man. I can't see myself with kids. I can't.
Because you were an old man by the time you were 15.
Well, yeah, of course. But like, all jokes aside, I
know, all jokes aside, yeah.
I genuinely can't see myself being 50. So I don't know how I'll die. I just hope when it happens, every time somebody says, "Did you hear how Vince died?" It's a different story.
That's really funny.
I just want it to be every single time is like, oh yeah, he was transporting minus no. he was transporting a bunch of children that had been saved from the border into homes that they were all adopted into, and then it's like, well, what happened? The truck caught on fire. The kids are fine, but he died a hero's death. Like just
and then the next day,
and just till it gets to the point where like
karate chopped in his neck and just immediately got decapitated.
Just every time is a different story. So like nobody really like that's what I want is
he had a rare blood disorder.
Like two generations down the line when they talk about me as a great great grandfather, they're like, how did he die? And it's like, we don't fucking know.
Everyone just fucked around so hard that we have no clue.
We have no fucking clue. Like, people are writing it in their
certificate's fucked up.
The death certificate just says he died to death. Like, that's it.
He died to death.
Like, that's it. Like, there's nothing special on it. Like,
holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
Don't me to
like, I want the most outrageous one to be like him and Godzilla were boxing. Like how Charles Barkley and Godzilla had a dunk off. Like him and Godzilla were fighting, and Godzilla was winning, and then King Kong showed up, the new King Kong, and fucking like helped out.
I want it to be the most mundane shit. Like, oh, he got a pinched nerve and died.
Yeah, like I was cooking, and like the kitchen got too hot, and I got a little fucking, and I passed out and $1 million babied my neck on the stove or the cabinet or something, and I sat there for
got
like
a splinter that got infected and died.
Yeah, like, or just like did I ever tell you the fucking Assassin's Creed thing?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so spoiler alert for an Assassin's Creed game. I don't remember which one, but there is an Assassin's Creed where Desmond, the main character, dies coming out of the Animus or while in the Animus or something. I don't remember. And I knew that he died, but I didn't know how. And there was a kid on my bus who told me he was a huge Assassin's Creed fan. And I was like, oh man, it sucks how Desmond dies. He goes, what? Desmond dies in the new one? I'm like, yeah, you haven't played it? He was like, no, I don't have any money yet. We're like fucking 14, 15. I'm like, yeah, well, it gets really, really amped up. And they're like, Desmond, you have to come out of the Animus or you're gonna die. You have to come out now. And he's like, no, just 2 more hours and we'll be done. And they're like, no, we have to get you out. And they like force him back in there. And eventually he comes out of the Animus, and he's been in there for like almost 30 hours, and they're like, all right, Desmond, you need to rest. There's a turkey club and a lemonade in the next room. Eat that because you haven't eaten in 30 hours, and then go take a nap. And he's like, oh, thanks. And he like wipes the sweat from his brow and he sits down, and it's just an uncut like shot of Desmond coming out of the Animus into this other room, and he sits down, and it's just him eating a sandwich. And he takes like the 3rd or the 5th or the 6th bite, and he just starts to choke, and he's like, and he fucking chokes to death on a turkey club, and like he goes to grab the lemonade, but he's choking so hard that he like knocks it over, and he's like, ah, and he dies. And then like an hour later, these people like walk in, they're like, what the fuck, he died? And this kid believed it. That's how I want to go.
Desmond choked on a turkey club.
I want to go choking on a turkey club.
Oh, that's so fucking good.
Fuck
yeah.
All
right, let's move on to the next one. So, name 3 things you and your partner appear to have in common. That's us. Appear to have in common.
I don't know. We don't like a lot of the same shit.
We have some crossover in music.
We have some crossover in things, but I feel like we have the few things that you and I both like.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have vastly different, like, when it comes to style, when it comes to...
But, like, that's okay.
No, I'm not saying it as a bad thing.
Yeah.
Opposites attract. But I'm saying it in the sense of, like, outside of, like, Fallout, I don't really know anything that we both have, like, super in common. Like, you listen to a lot of the same music I listen to, but I feel like you only listen to it because I showed it to you.
Yeah, for some of it, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Some of it stuck around. Like, I still follow, like, Kendrick because I really like that style.
Yeah, but I'm not saying like, oh, you only know that because of me. I'm just saying, like, I don't feel like you would have found that on your own.
Right, yeah.
Like, it's something that I was like, yo, check this out. And you were like, oh, this is cool.
Like, everyone, like, picks from different boxes,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, it's the best part of having friends, is that you can say, like, oh, this person showed me that, and this person showed me this. I don't know.
Yo, Chuck, I think I found that sound you're looking for.
Like, you and I work differently.
Yeah.
You do things one way, I do things another way, like... I don't know. I don't really know what we have in common.
I guess we have commonality in, like, the way that, like, we were raised, I would say. Like, we have, we're first-generation Americans.
I guess. I wouldn't really consider that the way I was raised, though. I would just consider that a circumstance of being born. Like, but I get what you're saying.
Like, we got similar beginnings to the origin story, you know?
Yeah. This is a tough one. This is tougher than I thought.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can we move on to the next one? I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Yeah, I'm not sure. Why don't you read the next one?
For what... I don't like the way this is worded. For what in your life do you feel most grateful?
I am most grateful for the people in my life. I'm really grateful for my family and my friends. And honestly, without my friends and my family, specifically my sister, I am not certain that I would be on this planet today. So, I'm really, really grateful for the people I have in my life because sometimes I get in my own head and it becomes very scary in there. So having people to kind of support me when I'm having trouble is really delightful that I know that I can lean on people. What about you?
This might sound like narcissistic, but in the words of Snoop Dogg, I'd like to thank myself. Just because I forget who said it. It's from a play, but hell is other people. As much as you can love and admire and cherish the people around you, your own expectations are going to get in the way, and it's going to ruin those other people for you. So I'm not disagreeing with you. I see where you're coming from, and I agree with you for a percentage of that. But the ability to learn. Like, I'm grateful that I'm not a moron. Like, I'm grateful that I can, like, I mean, contrary to popular belief and what Kyle might have told you, I'm, like, happy that I can read. Like, I'm grateful that I have, like, a basic set of skills to talk to people, to learn more, to be able to have, like, a drive that wants to go out there and see more of the world and do things and not just sit around all day and fucking...
An explorative spirit.
Yeah, like, I'm just happy that I'm not... like, like, I'm not Droopy from fucking those old cartoons. Like, I'm grateful that, like, I have interest in things. Like, I can see a sneaker, and where somebody just sees a sneaker, I see, like, there was a lot of thought put into this. Like, I'm happy that I can look deeper into things.
It's like kind of the light of creation, if you would.
What do you mean?
Like, the spark to learn and do and figure it out.
Yeah, because, like, I hated school, but I love to learn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I fucking couldn't stand going and being there. But, like, do you remember that phase?
Because, I mean, it doesn't help that they make it the most miserable experience that they possibly can.
They don't try to make it interesting. Yeah. But, like, I went through a whole fucking phase where I wanted to learn more about animatronics from the fucking 80s.
And then you did.
Yeah, just because.
Because the internet.
Yes. So, like, I appreciate what you're saying, and I can understand that people are great, and, like, you can pick your friends, and you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose. And something that was told to me very, very early on that I've kind of, well, I mean, if they're into it, there's something that, like, I've held on to was having a family sucks, because if your family fucks up, you're stuck with them. But if your friends fuck up, see ya. So, like...
I don't know. I kind of disagree with that, personally.
What do you mean?
Because I consider my friends to be a part of my family.
I see what you're saying, but there is a
Kind
line...
of like, it's kind of more like I find my tribe and I stick with it. I admire my friends so incredibly. My friends are my family.
I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you to an extent, but there's a line. And not to call back to a previous episode or anything, but maybe this is why I like Kaisar's Legion so much. Kind of in that way, I will not accept defeat. Like, if you wrong me in some way, you're gonna, like, metaphorically, you will be tarred and feathered and thrown into the Grand Canyon. There's a line. Don't cross the line. That's all. It's a respect thing. Do not cross that line.
I'm not gonna come into your house and spit on your forehead.
Yeah, like, well, not even that. Then I'd be like, what are you doing? Like, are we taking our pants off? What's going on? Like, why are you spitting on me? Like, what's going on here? Like, that, like, that's not something, like, if you do something that is so, like, I mean, if you ostracize me for something I didn't even want to do in the first place and make me look like the bad guy, you can go fuck yourself. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it.
Like, there's just a line there. And at any point, or, okay, if we find out that you're following girls home from a school that you don't go to and you've already graduated 2 years ago,
you can get fucking dropped.
You get fucking dropped. If I don't like the people that you're with and I think you're going through something, and, like, this happened to me in high school. I stopped hanging out with a kid because I didn't like the people he was hanging out with once we graduated. And he got upset that I, like, never called him again. And, like, I was just like, I see the people that you're around, and you become a product of your environment, and you're at the age where you have the ability to stop that, and you're actively going into it. And I don't want to be associated with that. I don't want to be a part of that. That's that level. That's that, like, that's that line.
Run, yeah.
You know what I mean?
But, like, between, like, us, I consider you to be a part of my family. Like, I'll always have your back.
Yeah.
I love you, man.
See, I don't like the word family. This is a whole other conversation for another day, but I don't like the word family. I don't. Because there's too much implication and expectation with it. There's just too much of a constant, like, because this person is my family, I have to act this way. The family members that I have, and there's not many that I'm close to, I don't even see them as family members. I just see them as people that I don't even really even see them as friends. I don't even see my friends as friends in the term friends. And hear me out when I say this. I see them as just people that I think putting labels on things is dumb to begin with. Mm-hmm. So I think it's just people that I choose to associate with because I like their character or their outlook or something about them is admirable. And it doesn't matter if I'm related to them or if I just know them from X, Y, or even Z.
You allow them to cameo in your life.
Not like that. Because
I know.
But in a way, yeah, because you're only as good as the company you keep. And you have to keep good people around you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want flunkies, fogies, other words that begin with F to say someone's kind of like a loser. Like, I don't want that shit around me.
Right.
I want positive people around me. I want people that are happy. I want people that have ideas
people
and
that build
ambition.
you up.
Yeah, like, I don't know how the fuck we got here.
I don't know. I think it's insightful, though.
What question are we
from like my perspective? Like, yeah, I kind of agree with you. Like, there are certain people that are members of my blood family that I'm not even nearly as close to as like people that are like for the likes of you or like some of my friends here in New York.
Yeah.
Like people that I cherish. People that are living treasures in my life. Because, like, not to be gay or anything, but I cherish you, man.
You want to go to the next one?
Sure. What are we on? Number 10? If you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be?
I would have not have been raised in this town. We would have still lived in Brooklyn. I fucking hate Pennsylvania with such a passion. There is nothing here. And I get that my parents left because they thought there was going to be more opportunity here than there was there and whatnot. But, like, there's nothing here. You either work in tourism, you work in food, or you get addicted to opioids, and then you die. And it's not healthy. It's just not a healthy environment. And I see people around me that are just gonna be here or one of the surrounding areas for the rest of their lives, and they just seem miserable. And I mean, I guess it's the same thing if we still lived in New York, but at the same time, like, you could get a job 3 blocks away or a town away, and you could work the rest of your life there. You could work in the city, and it wouldn't be great, but, like, you would have a different set of skills. You would have access to better fucking food.
At least you'd be surrounded by some of the most interesting people in the world.
If we still lived in Brooklyn, I would have been a DJ. Like, I just know it. Like, I just know I would have been a DJ. I would have been 13, and I would have found a place that sells shit, and I would have had a dude who would have mentored me, and I would have made a fucking career out of that. In Pennsylvania, in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, when I was a kid and wanted to do that, there was no where am I going to go to learn? Outside of YouTube, I could go on YouTube and I could watch every video I want to watch, but I don't have anybody that has the equipment that I can use to practice on.
Yeah, and even beyond that, YouTube isn't the replacement for being an apprentice at something.
Yeah.
Like, there's not someone there to guide you and show you the ropes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that guiding hand is very important when it comes to crafting a new skill.
Yeah. What was I going to learn how to do? Become a carpenter? Like working. I don't know about you, but
I'm not to spit on carpenters, because carpenters do some pretty fantastic work.
No, but like working with wood is a lot of fun. But I don't want to do it. Like, I wouldn't want to do it as a job. Yeah. Like, this is just an area where you come to die. Like, it's awful. Babow. What about you?
I guess, like, I don't know. Mine, I guess, isn't quite the answer to the question, but kind of its own kind of little side tangent. As our listeners may or may not know, I am transgender. So,
sorry, that's a joke.
Thank you for your apologies. Sometimes it's hard. But I wish that I would have known that earlier and started the process of living in my true skin, living as a woman earlier. Like, something that keeps me up at night sometimes is that I'll never be able to go through high school and grade school as a girl.
Do you think we would have been friends if you came out earlier?
I don't know. I would hope so. I still, like I said, I admired you when we were in high school. You were so outgoing, and you seemed to make friends with everyone, and you were just like a really cool person that I looked up to before I even got to know you.
Really? Thank you.
Yeah. So I would think that, yeah, we would still be friends. I think we would, yeah.
I know this might sound contradictory. I'm kind of happy that you didn't come out in high school, because high school would have just been fucking awful for you. It would have just been miserable.
Being where I am now, I kind of have a baseline layer of, like, better self-confidence skills and social skills that I've kind of developed.
Yeah.
Nothing's perfect, but...
No, but also I know who you were in high school.
Yeah, and it's better than it was. But, like, imagine if I would have known that trans people existed in, like, grade school and been able to, like, do that research early and have, like, been able to talk to my parents and be like, hey, this is what's good. Like, it would have been something that could have been taken care of a lot earlier.
Me knowing you...
And would have been able to mitigate a lot of the things that, like, currently are roadblocks for me.
Knowing you now, I don't think you would have done anything till you left. I really don't. I think you would have maybe told a handful of people and that was it. And you would have been like, I don't feel right. And then, but also we're looking at it through the guise of, the way it comes off that you're saying it is through the guise of today's culture and not the culture of 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Early 2000s was still a different beast compared to the 2020s. Yeah.
So I honestly think for you, bless you, for your health, for your mental health, it was much better that you waited till college. Really, I genuinely think so. I think, yeah, it sucks that you won't have everything that you kind of wanted, but at least you're getting most of it.
But from here on out, it's gonna fucking rock.
You know
man.
what I mean? Like you're not gonna get every attribute that you maybe wanted, but you're gonna get most of it. Like,
yeah.
Bop it a bop, skip it a cream.
Yeah, I totally I get what you mean. I totally feel that.
Yeah.
It's just something that, like, even though I know the logical, like, things and behind my transition, it's still, like, one of those, like, mental emotional things that, like, sometimes you just wake up in a cold sweat and think about what woulda, coulda, shoulda, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's something that I would like to see in an alternate timeline.
Cool. Next question.
Do you want to take on the next one?
Take 4 minutes and tell your partner your life story in as much detail as possible.
All right, and go. So I was born in Pennsylvania in the small town that we are from, to Jennifer and Darren, the parents of this story. I was born in, I guess this doesn't matter, 1998. So the tail end of the 90s, so that no one knows whether I'm really a millennial or Gen Z. I grew up in the small town and went to a Catholic school growing up, and got a private education from kindergarten to 8th grade, and I made a very close friend in in grade school that was the son of my mother's best friend from high school. In 7th grade, he died of cancer, and it destroyed my mental health permanently, and set me up for kind of a miserable first 2 years in high school until I started to meet people that were that I like to keep the company of, I'll say. Then I started to learn more about the world, learn more about other people, and kind of like really expand my view of life. In that same time, I would travel with my dad and my parents. Eventually, at some point, making my way to Ireland, the motherland, if you would. And I got to meet some of the family. I, however, stayed in the U.S. and finished my high school education with pretty high marks. Not that matters. And I found a passion for games and digital media. So I applied to college in New York, and I got in on early application for a degree in games design and development. My first 3 years of that were super cool. I felt like I was learning something. I felt like I was really making good progress. And then in the second year, I actually studied abroad in Croatia, and that was a whole nother lovely experience of getting to know the world. I traveled with mostly people I knew. One of my really good friends, Emily, traveled with me to Croatia. She was in the same program as me, and we stayed in Spain. We stayed in Italy. Of course, Croatia. We went to a bunch of the other surrounding countries by bus and train just to kind of suck up as much as we could out of our vacation studies. But then I came back to finish my degree. My third year went great. My fourth year went pandemic. So I'm still working on school now and figuring out what I want to do with my life in a job sense, because I have now a baseline of skills and things that make me really happy, but I'm trying to figure out how to make all those pieces fit together in a way that makes money. And also, in my third year, I realized I was trans, so I started my transition in my fourth year, which has been honestly a lifesaver. If I hadn't have figured it out, I don't know where I would be today, but probably in the ground. And I've got 10 seconds left, so I'm going to
plug
say...
Plug something.
Listen to Atomic Tabletop. It's probably out. No, it's not. It's a lie. But the other episodes are. That's 4 minutes.
Cool. I didn't expect you to actually take 4 minutes.
It was hard to kind of break up my life into little sectors. All right. Do you have your phone ready? 4 minutes, bucko.
All right, hold on. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
And start. Hi, I'm Vince. I was born in November of 96. Again, like Olive said, I don't know if I'm a Gen Z or millennial. Some say it's 95, some say 96, 97. I don't really care, to be honest. We moved out of New York when I was 2, and we came here, and growing up, I was always told about New York like it was this like Wizard of Oz type of place, like this kind of Candyland, if you will, almost, where it was just like, you don't know about this street? And it's like, no, I don't, because we left when I was fucking 2. And we grew up, I grew up kind of in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by no other kids my age. The only other kid that was somewhat my age was, like 4 or 5 or 6 years older than me. So you can't really hang out with a kid like that when you're 6. You know what I mean? Like he's 10, 11, you're 6. Like that's a big jump. But he was like the only kid on our block. We lived in the middle of nowhere, and I just watched my parents go to work every day and me go to school, and I never enjoyed it. I never once liked going to school. I never felt like I was being catered to. Not that like, oh, and everybody needs to wait on me, but like I just never felt like the way I learned was being, I don't want to say appreciated, but I just never felt comfortable in school. I always felt like I was going there because somebody said you have to do this and never explained why. It wasn't like you're doing this to do X, Y, and Z. It always felt like you're doing this so you could take a test at the end of the year, and depending on how well you do on the test at the end of the year, the school gets more or less money. And it never felt like anybody cared about us. It just felt like we were numbers. We were just a percentage. It didn't feel human. And I really didn't enjoy school whatsoever until I got to the 8th grade, and we had young Heather on the show, and young Heather gave us an assignment to write something, and she I don't know if I ever said this publicly, and I'm kind of ashamed to say this, but she grabbed my mom and she was like, I've been teaching for, I think, 6 or 7 years, and this is the best story anybody's ever written in one of my classrooms. And I didn't know that, like, I could write or even that I liked it, but, like, her class showed me that. And then even from there, did you ever notice your fucking best teachers were always English teachers? Then I didn't have like another great teacher like that until I was in high school and I took a drama class, and she was like, we're going to do plays. And I was like, I don't want to do plays. I'd rather write them. And she kind of saw this thing in me, and she gave me one of the best pieces of advice ever. And life has always felt like a series of just, I'll fucking figure it out. Like, it just always seems like I'm just, like, I had my heart broken when I was like 13 or 14 for the first time majorly. And I don't want to say regrettably, but almost to the point where I feel like that was my defining feature for like 3 years. Like, everybody just knew me as like, oh, that's Vince. He's upset about some girl who won't talk to him. Like, it just became this thing. But I like to think a lot of learning came out of it. I like to think a lot of understanding about human connection and whatnot came out of it. And, I mean, I don't know. Telling somebody your life story is such a weird thing, especially when, like, I'm normally pretty decent at just going off and rambling, but when it's your own story, like, I can make up a story on the fucking spot. But you want me to tell you what I did in my life? There's things I like and there's things I don't like, and I feel like a lot of my friends see the things I don't like and they just think of me as this negative ball of energy, and they don't see me for any of my real thoughts or emotions or opinions, and they just kind of want me to play a character. And I've been trying to kind of figure out what any of this means and if any of it even matters for 24 years now. And 15 seconds left. I just gotta say that, like, I host multiple podcasts now, and I found something to keep my hands busy. And I'm just kind of here trying to figure it out, trying to make moves and make sure that I have some sort of a positive positive impact on the world, and if I can make people smile or not. Ba-bow.
That was nice.
Thanks.
I like it.
Thanks. I don't know about you, but that was fucking uncomfortable shit for me.
I know, right? Like, kind of really digging deep into the vault, right?
Yeah. You want to hit me with the last one?
Oh, are we already on the last one?
We're already on number 11 plus 1.
Oh, yeah. If you could wake up tomorrow having gained any one quality or ability, what would it be? I want to say woodworking. Yeah, just like a craft.
Just being able to build shit, like being able to make like props and shit, and like being able to see something going, oh, I know how to make that, and then just making it. Like being like
That's really fucking cool.
Being like a Minecraft Steve, just like table, like just be like. I like building Lego sets just because it's something to do. Like it lets your like or Gundam because it lets you just kind of like
you just like.
Yeah, and
this is your task.
Like, I love counting change. So if I can just, like, if I had the ability to know how to work with wood, like, not even at a pro level, but at a level where I can learn from there, and I had the equipment, fucking good to go.
I'm split between two. Can I explain both of them? Because one's kind of lame but practical, and the other one's kind of cool.
I have a feeling your lame but practical one is what I'm, like, thinking about saying now, but go on, yeah.
My lame but practical one is I wish that I could snap my fingers and be fully rested so that I could constantly be doing things for 24 hours.
That would be great. I didn't think of that.
I hate the fact that, like, I love sleeping as, like, I love getting rest and giving my brain food.
Yeah,
but
it's hard to give up that 8.
I feel like it often gets in the way.
Yeah.
Like, last night I was playing Cyberpunk, and I was really enjoying it. And I was, like, upset that my body was giving out. And I was like, fuck, I have to go to bed. I just want to keep, because it was, like, a really, like, dramatic character-defining thing that happened. I was like, damn it, I really want to keep going. So I wish I could snap my fingers and be well-rested, like a cheat code.
Yeah. R1, R2, L1, L2, just...
Up, down, A, B, the whole shebang. But my other one that would be a cool ability is I've got this issue where I make these fully figured out thoughts in my brain about how I want like something to look or be described. So I wish I could replicate that perfectly. Because all the time I'm constantly like, I'll explain.
Okay.
All the time I think about like different like concepts for worlds and stories and stuff. I wish I could just like reach into my brain and take out that that musical melody that I've been thinking of, and just boom, the song is done. Or like, oh, I just thought of a really cool schematic for like a building for in D&D. I want to take that and boom, it's a sketch on the page. Because I have such a problem of like taking my hands and making it happen. I wish I could like take my thoughts and manifest them. And it's the worst with music because I'm at like a very amateur level that like even if I think of like the melody and then like the bass line and the percussion, it's kind of hard for me to wrap my brain all around it without getting distracted. So I wish I can manifest my runaway creativity.
I thought you were gonna say a knowledge of different languages because I was like, I should have went with that.
Oh, that is
like
a
if
cool
I could have
one.
I just know I at a fluent level,
Like perfect translation.
like 10. I couldn't speak it, but I could understand it. Like,
Okay.
like I'll trade something off. So it's like, I'll understand like the top 10 major spoken languages in the world. I can understand it, but I can't speak it back.
How about you understand 10, speak 3?
Okay. Yeah.
English is already one of them.
English.
What would your other 2 be?
Spanish.
Because it's the most versatile.
I would always
language.
have a job.
Yeah.
Because if you know Spanish, you know, like my dad spoke a little Italian, and he would hear Spanish and he would understand it. Mm-hmm. So like if I knew Spanish, I could
It's the same romantic like Latin root. So.
Yeah, and then honestly, probably Mandarin.
Yeah.
I would always have a job.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah. That's a big space.
Yeah. That's the
Oh no.
11 plus 1 question. Cool. We have another 11 plus 1 questions coming at you in the next part of this. This has been part 1. Thank you for sticking with us.
Thank you.
Hit us with the outro. Baba da boop, skibba da cream. Bow.
Shane Ivers?
Shane Ivers.
So, we have an intro music, and it's called Feather Duster. It was made by Shane Ivers. If you want to get it, you can get it at www.silvermansounds.com/free music/featherduster. Vince, we are online, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. Go ahead and give a look to the description where you can find my social media, Olive's social media, the show's social media. There's also a link down there to our Discord. Make sure you join. It's a community of people that watch and listen and interact, and there's always something neat and interesting going on in the Discord. And while you're there, we'd appreciate it if you could check out our Redbubble, where you could buy a design that we've created, put on a shirt, on a duvet, on something that you could buy, a cup, some stickers, and also if you could check out our Patreon. It's not mandatory that you give money towards the Patreon, but there are some people that we have to thank real quick for the Patreon. Olive, if you could.
First, we have Noah.
Thank you, Noah.
Then we have Gage, but twice.
Thank you, Gage. Once for the Patreon and once for the Discord. He pays for Nitro so we can do fun things like streaming in there.
Next, we have Jordan with a Y.
Thank you, Jordan with the Y.
Then we have Danny.
Thank you, Danny.
Marcus.
Thank you, Marcus.
And Bones Jones.
Thank you, Bonesimus Jonesimus.
And remember, if you don't hear your name on this list, this was recorded in the past or future. A different time on the timeline.
But you are highly appreciated.
We love you.
Yes. I think that's really everything we have to say.
Also, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Please leave comments. We really like to read them.
Like the video, share it with a friend. It would really help if you put the playlist of all the videos on and fell asleep to it. Get that algorithm going in our favor.
Create a video response, rate us 5 stars, you know, the whole shebang.
Put us on Reddit. So
put us on Reddit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stick around if this was a shorter episode, or maybe it's longer. I don't know. It's a little bit different. You're probably going to be hearing this outro a couple different times.
Bye.
Bye.
See you
Everyone.
later. Bye.
Atomic Radio
Hour Podcast.
A Ghoulman Entertainment production.